Greetings, fellow Americans. Susanna for President 2024. Welcome to the 2024 edition of Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Fireside Chats. Got a couple of subjects to cover today. First off, we're going to talk about Israel. It seems that the war is expanding into the rest of the Middle East. We are seeing this with Netanyahu's attacks on Lebanon, in Beirut. We are seeing this as well with the continued bombardment of missiles from Iran. I should say periodic bombardment, what they are considering retaliation. So here's how I look at this particular situation. Iran has been trying to build their nuclear weapons program. Now they are ready to fight the rest of the free world. So they initiate a battle with Hamas and Israel. Hamas is a part of Hezbollah and the Iranian regime, terrorist organizations. And then they're using, they knew, this is the way I'm looking at this, the Iranian government knew that Netanyahu would retaliate, and it just would give them more of an excuse to continue to bombard them with periodic missiles. This is all what it looks like to me is a ploy to break down and make Israel use all the weapons that it has for their purposes. I do also believe that this particular war is meant to draw the United States into it, and it's possible that that may end up happening. I'm not sure exactly how, but it may. Unfortunately, this is one of the issues that we're looking at in our world today. There is still the fighting going on in Ukraine. It looks like Vladimir Putin is after the nuclear power plants in Ukraine, and if I'm not mistaken, there's around 15 of them, not including Chernobyl, which is currently under a dome to prevent radiation from continuing to leak out of the area. I'm not surprised at this at all. I had a suspicion that he would be after the nuclear power plants. I believe that he is going to try to cut off power for the rest of Europe, because these power plants are a big part of Europe's power, even into Russia. I'm not very impressed with how this war is going, and it's so needless, but I really don't see an end to it anytime soon, especially with the way that our government is supporting these wars. And I know that this is becoming a very big issue for a lot of people. We don't have the funding to continue to support these wars. We just don't. We need to provide funding for the issues that our nation is having right now. One of those issues happens to be employment. Even though employment rates are down, or unemployment rates are down, I should say, there are still a lot of people without jobs, a lot of Americans without jobs. So my National Recovery Employment Program, which is part of the National Recovery Act, helps to satisfy reducing unemployment even further. We have a lot of areas that have been hit by disaster, and we are going to need workers to help rebuild and make sure that people have food and water and other essentials while we're rebuilding. And this is all across the mainland United States as well as in Lahaina. Now, how my National Recovery Employment Program works. Basically, we as a nation are going to come together to support this program. Every part of our nation is going to be affected. Our economy, our financial structure, the whole works. We all have a part. To start with, it's important to have a type of registration, employment registration. So I came up with the National Recovery Employment Registration. It's basically the application for the job. Americans get first dibs, especially those who are displaced because of disasters. We want to make sure that they have a way to support themselves financially and be able to contribute to our economy, be able to help others and pay it forward. So employing people who have been displaced, if they apply, is going to be a priority. The second priority is other Americans who have not been displaced by disaster, but who want to come down to these areas to help rebuild. They are second choice. The third choice is newer migrants or immigrants that are coming into our nation. Now, they would be eligible through the Fast Track to Citizenship program, which is part of my immigration reform and border security. And that is explained in a different video. I am going to have some links to videos related to this topic, including immigration and employment, national recovery, in the comments or description, depending on which platform you're watching from. So, the role of each of us, there's three types of people that have roles. We have our government, our businesses, and the rest of us, the citizens. The role of the government in national recovery employment is to ascertain the availability of civilian workers, first and foremost. We have to make sure that we have the people available. The second is to provide emergency assistance as needed. So our emergency services are going to be available as well, especially for employees of the National Recovery Employment Program. We're also going to have, the government's also going to have the role of financial responsibility as well. And that's the one thing that all of us have in common, all three sections, business, civilian, and government alike. All of us have a financial responsibility to this program if it's voted in. The role of the government is to provide 1/3 of the cost per month, let me make that clear, per month, to this program to make sure that it continues to flow. And the government can pick up any extra that needs to be added to basically the pot for paying for employment, materials, transportation, all of it. Now, the role of businesses. The role of businesses, one of the things they're going to do is help by donating small portions of products and materials to disaster areas. So things like, or let's start with places like Home Depot and Lowe's, places where you would get wood, nails, building materials of that sort. Having them donate a small bundle of standard size 2x4s and other boards, nails, hammers, the like, that are needed to build is going to be the first step. After that, the businesses just need to make sure that we can, as a people, can purchase more materials to continue the economic flow and make sure that no one's put out, that and this is businesses and individuals alike, to make sure that our businesses are able to support the economy and support our people without breaking themselves, and as a nation, us ending up breaking our businesses. We don't want to do that. We want to keep economic flow. Something similar is the responsibility of the people, the rest of us, the civilian population. So our people already donate things like clothing and food and water and even finances. We donate already all of that stuff, and that is something we definitely need to continue to do. The next thing that we need to make sure that we do as a nation is make sure we are available to work, to be down there in these areas, putting things back together, cleaning up, constructing homes, making sure that the people have what they need. So we need the population. It doesn't have to be millions of people, because that would be overwhelming, but enough people to make sure things are going steadily is going to be key. Now, the financial aspect of this is obviously we are going to all be donating. It doesn't matter how much you donate. If you can donate even $1 to the National Recovery Employment Program or National Recovery period, it's going to help all of us. It's going to help make sure that all of the materials are able to be purchased, that we have transportation to and from sites, that we have all of the equipment that we need, that we are able to pay the personnel that we have helping to rebuild. These things are all very important. We can take full responsibility for this by working together, the government, our businesses, and our civilian population. Just doing it, just working together, not worrying about engorging prices or negotiating too low for materials. We should not have to worry about that. This is one of the ways that we are going to prosper. Unifying our people to ensure that those who are affected by these disasters are cared for, that they have a way to support themselves, that our economy does not take a significant hit. And it does. It does take a significant hit when we are not able to provide for our people like we should. It also maintains stability in our nation. It continues more economic flow and financial gain. And in all likelihood, it could start lowering prices a bit, especially on things like food items. I'm hoping that it ends up doing that. So I believe that this will increase the comfort level of our nation, because we will already have a good system in place for when the next disaster breaks out, and we can work on rebuilding what has already been hit now. It won't break the bank, and it won't keep anyone from being able to support themselves. That is all I have for today. Thank you for your time, and may our path lead to peace and prosperity.